I started to take a look, Sam. Okay, you know what? You're going to see some teams where the odds aren't fourth. They're not the long shot, even though they were in last place last year, because this is something people look for. Of the 8 divisions, six of them, 6 of the teams that finished in last place are the long shot. They're fourth in the odds when it comes to the division. Is this something that you believe in, that you look at worst to first to worst? That's what happens in this league, or do you kind of forget it from your handicapping?
No, it's a unique scenario needed for a team that finished worst to go to first. Usually it's around injuries. Let's be completely honest. Usually it's a team that had either a gang of injuries on defense or the quarterback went down. That's usually the formula for a team that sputters to 4 or 5 wins, brings the quarterback back, brings all these guys on defense back, picks in the top of the draft, and then, moves on. But I don't really see any of that this year. The obvious one is the team on top of the list that Zach put together. That's San Francisco. Crazy to think that they go from Super Bowl runner-up to last place, right? But that's what injuries did on defense. So there's an example for you right there. Just decimated at every level. The line, the linebackers, the secondary, multiple guys out, and then the issues on offense. So now you pay Purdy, and you sort of restack the defense. You shuffle out some of those guys that got hurt. You bring in Robert Saleh to run the defense. That's the easy answer. The problem there is that everybody respects the Niners behind the counter. So you're not going to get this exorbitant price on San Francisco. BetMGM is right around plus 150 to win the NFC West. After that, though, it is a big jump in price. But every conversation from worst to first this year obviously starts with San Francisco.
They're the favorite to win the division. They're plus 160. That's the best price that I could find. Yeah, they were in last place. Everything went wrong, and now they're the favorite to win it all. If you mentioned injury and missed games and all that, but it's not only that. Like, I was going back and taking a look. I'm like, oh, yeah. Not only did they miss guys, and as you mentioned, of course, CMC is going to be at the top of the list. Ayuk with his serious injury. Debo missed time. He was traded anyways. A handful of guys. But like Purdy missed a game, but he was hobbled all year. George Kittle missed a little time, but he was dealing with an injury for the entire season. Trent Williams, same exact thing. Nick Bosa, Hufanga missed a ton of time. Every level of that defense, as you mentioned, and their star players on offense, everything went wrong. And so I understand why they're the favorite. People are expecting a bounce back year. That is fair. But is it going to be a bounce back year for everybody? Everything that went wrong, is it now going to go right? I would not be betting on San Francisco. The easy schedule is certainly part of this. But I'm not interested at plus 160, man. Now, if they get out to a slow start and we get a little bit of value on that team, maybe. But I have no interest in betting them as a favorite. How about you?
I'm interested, but I don't love it. I would probably go over the win total before I'd go plus 160 to win the division. You could also go win the conference, or dare I say, win the Super Bowl. Those are the prices I think are more enticing. 10-1 to win the NFC, 20-1 to win the Super Bowl. I'm much more interested in them hitting their ceiling and me buying in early than betting $1 to win $1.60. So that's just kind of how I feel about it. As for the next two teams, they're both 5-1. For me, it's not the Patriots. You know that. You know how I feel about Buffalo. Buffalo is basically the Patriots from 20 to 2000 to 2018 or whatever. That's the stranglehold I feel like they have. Now, there's many years to go to match the longevity of it. But from a power rating standpoint, it's not even close in the AFC East. It's Buffalo, and then there's everybody else. So even though the Patriots could sneak up on people, and I saw Adam Schefter saying they're a sleeper this year.
No,
Not
they're
really.
not.
I mean, are they a sleeper if everybody's talking about you? Are they a
Mhm.
sleeper when they have a win total of 8.5? No, I mean, that's not a sleeper. A sleeper to do what? Make the playoffs? They're plus 150 to make the playoffs. That's not a sleeper. So I'm getting tired of that. That's like the Illinois of the AFC. Oh, New England. New England's a sleeper. I don't think they're a sleeper because everybody's talking about Vrabel and how Vrabel's a
Mhm.
winner, and people like Drake May, and they've got Diggs now and all that. So I think they're too trendy. I'd go Bears before Pats. Both teams are 5-1. Pats 5-1 to win the AFC East. Bears 5-1 to win the North. I'd rather go Bears, but I don't like either one of those either.
The best number I could find on New England is 625. It's 625 as the second favorite in the division. That tells you how far away, how much the market respects the Buffalo Bills, as do you, as do I. I am right there with you on that. Like, I understand why New England's popular. People think, okay, now Drake May, this is his team, and look at these additions here, there, and of course a change in the culture and the coaching staff. But I'm not betting them to have a better record than Buffalo. Not doing it, even at plus 625. And then the Bears are the long shot in the NFC North, but it's a shorter number than New England. It's plus 550. That's the best that I could find on the Chicago Bears. All right, speaking of the Bears, before we give you our thoughts on this, them being a candidate to go from worst to first place in the division, this is Ryan Horvat the other day. BetMGM tonight. Take a listen to our favorite wing-eating teammate.
I guarantee the Bears win a minimum of 10 games this season. If the Bears don't win at least 10 games this season, I will shave my eyebrows, my big-ass eyebrows, live here on this show, BetMGM tonight. Brad Evans will fly him here to Washington, D.C., or to Bethesda, wherever he wants to come. He could shave my eyebrows. I'll also shave my head. I'll look like Edward Norton, like Edward Furlong in the 90s. That's what I'll do here. That's how confident I am in the Chicago Bears. Ben Johnson knows the NFC North. Yeah, crank that stuff. I almost swore. That'd be bad. Ben Johnson knows the NFC
All right,
North.
that's
The
good.
back of his hand.
That's good.
That's good.
You can fade it out.
It's enough.
We don't need
Enough
more bear
Horvat.
down.
It's enough Horvat for one morning. Okay, so I thought it was just eyebrows. Now it's eyebrows and head. I think it'd be funnier, though. I think we should do definitely the shaved head, but we only do one eyebrow instead of both.
One eyebrow.
So he has to have the one, and then the other eyebrow is missing, and then all the hair is gone on top. The Bears have won 10 games. Let's see, 2018, 2012, 2010, and then 26 and 2005. But one time in the last 12 years. I feel the same way about them as I do about Illinois. I hate to group them together, but it's very similar. And they even wear the same colors.
They do. They do. A lot of history that is aligned with Illinois and Chicago Bears football. I hate that I'm about to say this, but I've just taken a step back. I'm trying to remove. I'm not even a fan, I'm at this point. I'm just a close observer, right? And I'm going over the list. If you start at the bottom, say yes or no. Like, let's just go over this list. Cleveland, hard no. Giants, no.
No.
Saints,
No.
Raiders,
No.
Titans.
I could do the Titans. Is that weird?
Oh, you could do the Titans. Okay, we got to go back to that one. Okay.
Well, you have to pick one. I mean, if I had to pick one.
That's what I'm saying.
And you said, all right, here's $100. Bet one of these teams. Niners, Patriots, Bears, Titans, Raiders, Saints, Giants, Browns. I like the price at 8-1. I've never been a Lawrence guy, at least in the NFL. The Colts do nothing for me. And maybe the Texans are just unlucky this year. The only thing that is drawing me to that price, though, is that the quarterback play was so horrendous last year with Will Levis that maybe Cam Ward can be a spark. Maybe they can be more efficient offensively. And don't look now, the Titans were second in defensive yards allowed last year. Second. Somehow they were 30th in points allowed, though. So, like, how does that make sense? It's the opposite of bend but don't break. They were very good at not allowing yards, but they allowed everybody into the end zone. So if the defense is better and the quarterback play is better, I could throw a dart at 8-1. I don't think it's going to happen, but that would be my move.
It's not a great division. I'll give you that.
No.
I just don't believe in Cam Ward to start. So, like, I'm putting a line through those bottom 5 that I mentioned. I already said I'm not betting San Francisco as the favorite, not betting New England because we're talking about beating Buffalo, and I don't see that happening. So I'm left here staring at the Bears, and I'm on record not betting the Lions. I'm against that, especially at the number that you're going to find them, losing all the assistant coaches, losing both coordinators. And I don't know what McCarthy's going to be in his first year. It could be good. It could be better, maybe a better chance of winning in the playoffs, but not the same regular season record. But is there a chance here for the Bears? Like, I don't like the Lions. I'm not eliminating Minnesota, but they are up against it with a new quarterback, an inexperienced quarterback who could be good for the long haul. And then it's Green Bay that's left in your division, along with Chicago. As they rework the offensive line, as they add to the defensive line, and you actually have an offensive play caller that people trust. This is not Matt Nagy. It is something much better. But remember, Nagy was the coach of the year his first year. They go 12-4. Everything goes perfectly. The only time in the last decade that the Bears have gone over the win total. You're telling me to pick one. People are going to say I'm a homer. I would go Chicago because that's a beatable favorite in the division. I like all the moves, and I like the new coaching staff.
Bears have a high ceiling. I'm not reminding you. I'm reminding everybody else that Bears defense, the year they went 12-4, was number 1 in the league in points allowed, and number 3 in the league in yards allowed. That was the year they traded for Khalil Mack, and they just had monsters all over that defense. They won in spite of Trubisky, not because of Trubisky. This team will have to get there behind the arm of the quarterback, Caleb Williams. And I know there's a lot of volatility there, and there's a lot of ranging opinions on Caleb Williams. This defense will not get them the division title. It'll have to be the offense. And if you've been a Chicago fan for as long as Joe and I have, or at least a Chicago resident or somebody close to Chicago, it's a tough pill to swallow to get behind the Bears offense carrying the mail. This is a defensive franchise as long as we've been alive. But that's why you get Ben Johnson. Maybe he is the missing puzzle piece, but it's not going to be because of their defense. That offense is going to have to outduel Detroit and Minnesota and Green Bay. And if that happens, sure, it could happen.